Be me, 29F. Living in a glass box in San Francisco. Founder and CEO of Vitality, a productivity app powered by AI. Valuation just hit $50 million post-seed round. I track my sleep, my macros, my ovulation, and my cortisol levels. Everything is data. Everything is optimization. If it can't be measured, it doesn't exist. Dating Mark, 32M, he's a carpenter. Restores vintage furniture. Hands always rough. Smell like sawdust and linseed oil. Not my usual type. Usually go for VC guys, finance bros, startup founders. But Mark is grounding, like a weighted blanket. He doesn't know what EBITDA means. He doesn't have a Twitter account. He uses a flip phone on weekends to disconnect. I treat him like a pet project. A quaint anomaly in my high-speed algorithm. We've been together 2 years. He lives in a small bungalow in the Mission. Rent control. I live in a penthouse in Somay. I pay for everything when we go out. Omakase, $400 a head. He prefers taco trucks. I tell him his palate is unrefined. He laughs, says he likes food that tastes like food. I roll my eyes. You're so analog, Mark. He kisses my forehead. And you're vibrating at a frequency only dogs can hear. I resent his calm. I resent that he can sit on a porch for an hour doing nothing, just watching the dust motes dance in the sun. I check my emails 400 times a day. My screen time is 14 hours. I tell myself, this is the grind. This is what it takes to change the world. Mark is just existing. He's an NPC in my main quest. Flash forward. Series A funding is coming up. Stress is at an all-time high. Investors are breathing down my neck. They want growth. They want user retention. They want me to be the face of the new woman. Ruthless, efficient, ageless. I start biohacking harder. Intermittent fasting. Cold plunges at 4 a.m. Modafinil for breakfast. Mark comes over on a Tuesday. He cooked a pot roast. I made dinner, he says, smiling like a golden retriever. I look at the meat. Heavy, greasy, inefficient fuel. I'm on a liquid fast, Mark. You know this. His smile falters. It's Tuesday, babe. You said Tuesday was date night. I have a board meeting in Tokyo via Zoom at 9 p.m. I need mental clarity. He puts the pot roast down. We haven't eaten a meal together in 3 weeks. I'm building an empire, Mark. I don't have time for pot roast, he sighs. That quiet, heavy sigh. It triggers me. It sounds like judgment. Why don't you get it? I snap. Get what? The stakes. I am disrupting the wellness industry. I am on the cover of Forbes 30 Under 30 next month. I know, he says gently. I'm proud of you, but I miss you. I'm right here. No, you're not. You're in the cloud. You're in the metrics. I check my Apple Watch. Heart rate elevating. You're stressing me out. My cortisol is spiking. He walks out, leaves the pot roast. I throw it in the trash. Eating is a weakness anyway. 2 months later. I find out I'm pregnant. Birth control failed. Statistical anomaly, 0.1% chance. I stare at the test in my marble bathroom. I don't feel maternal instinct. I feel a bug in the code. A latency issue. This does not fit the roadmap. I have a launch in Q3. I have a speaking tour in Europe in Q4. A baby is a 20-year anchor. I schedule a meeting with Mark, send him a calendar invite, relationship sync. He accepts. We meet at a neutral location. Blue bottle coffee. Minimalism. Concrete floors. He looks tired, dust in his hair. I'm pregnant, I say. No preamble. Efficient delivery of information. He chokes on his latte. Eyes go wide. Are you serious? Yes, it's a logistical nightmare. He reaches across the table, takes my hand. His hands are warm. Wow, this is big. It's a problem, Mark. He freezes. A problem? I'm in the middle of a raise. Investors won't back a founder with a stroller. It signals a lack of focus. It signals you're a human being, he says. Humanity doesn't scale. I quote my mentor, a billionaire crypto-fascist. Mark looks at me like I'm an alien. I want to keep it, he whispers. I can provide. I have the shop. I make good money. Not your money, but good money. You make $80,000 a year, Mark. That doesn't cover a nanny in this city. You can be the mom. I'll be the dad. I'll stay home if I have to. And what happens to my brand? The vitality woman is sleek, unburdened, constantly optimizing. A mother is messy. It's a family, Anna. It's not a brand strategy. Everything is strategy. I pull my hand away. I'm terminating. I have an appointment Thursday. Just like that. It's the logical choice. ROI is negative. Mark stands up, chair scrapes loudly against the concrete. People look. I hate scenes. Unprofessional. If you do this, he says, voice shaking, I can't follow you. You're giving me an ultimatum? I'm giving you a reality check. You're choosing a company over a life. I'm choosing greatness. You're choosing mediocrity. The words hang in the air. Cruel, sharp. True. In my mind. He looks at me with pity, not anger. Pity. That hurts more. Goodbye, Anna. Good luck with the IPO. He leaves, doesn't look back. I drink my matcha, check my email. 3 new messages. I feel relief. The drag is gone. I get the procedure. Back at work the next afternoon. Boss bitch, my assistant says. Unstoppable, my co-founder says. I feel hollow, but lighter. Aerodynamic. The next 3 years are a blur of velocity. Vitality goes public. I ring the bell at NASDAQ. Confetti falls. I'm worth $200 million on paper. I buy a bigger penthouse. I buy a Tesla Roadster. I buy art I don't understand to impress people I don't like. Dating is a nightmare. I date high-value men. Julian, a hedge fund manager, obsessed with his own reflection, checks the price of wine before ordering to make sure it's expensive enough. We have sex. It's athletic. Transactional. He asks me to sign an NDA before sleeping over. I date distinct crypto bros. They talk about the blockchain during foreplay. They want a trophy. They want a woman who looks good on a yacht but doesn't speak. I am too opinionated. I am too successful. They are intimidated. I start to miss the smell of sawdust. I push the thought down. Buy a Birkin bag. Dopamine hit. Fades in 20 minutes. The market turns. AI bubble bursts. Vitality's user base plateaus. Churn rate increases. Investors panic. You need to pivot, the board says. You need to be more relatable, PR says. Maybe freeze your eggs and do a CEO mom arc. My publicist suggests. I laugh. A bitter, dry sound. I'm 33 now. Eggs are aging. I go to a fertility clinic. Diminished ovarian reserve, the doctor says. Stress, she says. Lifestyle, she says. You spent your prime reproductive years running on cortisol and caffeine. I freeze what I can. Success rate. Low. I go home to my empty penthouse. The view of the city is spectacular. Cold lights. Moving cars. No noise. I have 3 Roombas. They are my only roommates. I start drinking expensive Pinot Noir alone. Scroll Instagram. I unblocked Mark a year ago but never looked. Tonight, I look. His profile is private. Request follow. He accepts an hour later. No DM, just access. I scroll. He moved out of the city, up north. Oregon or Washington. Photos of a workshop. Huge. Timber framing. He's building a house. With his hands. He looks older. Bevier. But his eyes are bright. No dark circles. Then I see her. A woman. Brunette, soft curves. Wearing flannel, no makeup. Laughing. Helping him lift a beam. Caption, the foreman is tough today. My stomach drops. Keep scrolling. Wedding photos. A barn. String lights. He's wearing a suit that fits poorly but he looks like a king. She looks at him like he hung the moon. More scrolling. A baby bump. Then a baby. A girl. Clara, the caption says. Built this cradle for her, he writes. A photo of a hand-carved walnut cradle. It's a masterpiece. Better than any furniture I own. I zoom in on his face in the photo holding the baby. Pure, unadulterated peace. He didn't scale. He didn't disrupt. He just lived. I throw my phone onto the $12,000 sofa. It bounces harmlessly. I walk to the window. Press my forehead against the cold glass. I have $150 million in the bank. I can go anywhere, do anything. But I have no one to call. My friends are employees or networking contacts. If I lost my money tomorrow, they would delete my number. Mark would have stayed in a cardboard box with me. I realized I optimized away the only variable that mattered. Human connection. Love. The messy, inefficient, unscalable biology of it all. 6 months later, I get ousted as CEO. Board vote. New direction needed. They replace me with a 26-year-old guy who wears hoodies and talks faster than me. I cash out. Golden parachute. I move to a winery in Napa. Try to live the slow life. It feels performative. I hire a gardener. I watch him work. He reminds me of Mark. I try to flirt. He's polite, but distant. My wife is waiting for me, he says. Everyone has a life except me. I decide to visit Mark's town. Why? Masochism? Closure? I rent a generic SUV. Drive north. Find the town. Small, quiet. Smells like pine and rain. I find his workshop, Heritage Woodworks. Sign is hand-painted. I park across the street. Watch. It's a Saturday. The shop is open. I see him inside. He's teaching a class. Kids. He's showing a little boy how to use a planer. The boy is his. Looks just like him. Same jaw, same focus. A woman walks in. The wife. She's holding a toddler. The girl, Clara. She hands Mark a sandwich. He kisses her, a long, lingering kiss, in front of the customers. No shame, just love. I feel like a ghost. A glitch in the simulation watching the main characters. I get out of the car. Why am I doing this? I walk across the street, the bell on the door jingles. He looks up, smile fades, not anger, just recognition. And a slight wariness, like seeing a predator in a zoo. Anna, he says. The shop goes quiet. His wife looks at me. She knows who I am. I can see it in her eyes. She steps closer to him, protective. Hi, Mark, I say. My voice sounds tinny, artificial, just passing through. Saw the sign. You're a long way from Silicon Valley, he says. He doesn't invite me in further. He stays behind the counter, a barrier. I sold the company, I say. Trying to impress him. I heard, he says. Congratulations, that's what you wanted. I have a lot of free time now. That's good, he says. He looks down at his son. Buddy, go check on the glue up in the back. The boy runs off. What do you want, Anna? Direct. No nonsense. I don't know, I admit. I guess I wanted to see if you were happy. He looks at his wife, looks at the shop, looks at his hands. I am, he says. I'm not rich, he adds. We worry about the mortgage sometimes. The truck needs a new transmission. But I wake up every day excited to be here. I build things that last. He looks at me. Did you find it? The greatness? The question cuts deep. I think about the empty penthouse, the magazine covers that are already recycling bin fodder. The zeros in the bank account that can't hug me back. I won, I say. But it's lonely at the top. He nods. That's why I stayed at the bottom, Anna. The foundation is stronger here. His wife touches his arm. Dinner's in the oven, honey. A dismissal. I should go, I say. Take care of yourself, Anna, he says. Not I miss you. Not let's catch up. Just take care. Like he's speaking to a stranger. I turn around. Walk out. The bell jingles. I sit in my rental car, watch them through the window. He turns back to his wife. Wraps his arms around her. She laughs. He whispers something in her ear. They are a closed circuit. Complete. I am remainder data. I start the car. Drive back to the highway, put on a podcast about macroeconomics. Turn it up loud, drown out the silence. Stop at a gas station, buy a terrible coffee. It burns my tongue, at least I can feel that. I drive south. Back to the glass box. Back to the optimization. I open my laptop when I get home. Start a new project file. Project Phoenix, new startup idea, dating app for workaholics. Match based on net worth and schedule compatibility. I type furiously. If I keep typing, I don't have to think. If I keep building, I don't have to feel. The cursor blinks. Blink. Blink. Like a heartbeat. The only heartbeat in the room. I pour another glass of wine. Here's to efficiency, I whisper. The room echoes. My reflection in the dark window stares back. She looks tired. She looks successful. She looks like a warning label. I close the laptop, sit in the dark, and wait for the next software update. It never comes.